Hey guys, welcome back. I had a quick video to put together today based on a question I received in one of the comments on another video. And the question was, do you shock PEA? Now, to some of the more experienced people, this might seem a little fundamental and maybe it's easy for you to understand. But you also have to remember that this channel is also geared towards helping our novice and our new guys come along. For that reason, if I see anything in the comments that's sort of razzing or hazing guys for asking that kind of question, or any questions that seem untoward, I'm going to delete them. And of course, I'm mentioning that because it's happened. So I'm going to tell you, if you leave a negative comment on this channel where you're giving somebody else a hard time, it's going to get deleted. And I don't care if you unsubscribe or not. We're not here to tear down our fellow providers. We get plenty of that at work, do we not? So really quickly, what do we do with PEA? So we don't shock PEA, and there's a reason. PEA is not usually due to something that can electrically be fixed. So why does PEA happen? Why does pulseless electrical activity happen? Due to cardiac tamponade, that's one reason. So tamponade, you're having a obstruction, usually in the pericardial sac. There's a reason the heart cannot beat. And there's something you kind of have to understand about PEA is that cardiac myocytes are really good at extracting oxygen from places that other muscle cells just couldn't do. And none of them are better at this than the actual conduction tissues of the heart themselves. So the conduction tissues of the heart themselves can operate in environments where other muscle tissues could not work. You could think of it as a fail-safe that's built in. So for that reason, we can see electrical impulses firing, but maybe not so much with muscular contraction. The other thing you need to understand about PEA is that you can be telling a muscle to move and that muscle not be able to move. So the example I'm going to use is when you're picking something up that's really, really heavy, right? You're giving it all you have. You're commanding that muscle to move, but the muscle's not moving because the weight overwhelms the muscle's capacity. And in essence, this is PEA. So if we had a way to measure you trying to pick up a heavy weight in the way that we measure the heart trying to do things in an EKG, we would see plenty of impulses. We just wouldn't see any actual muscular contraction happening. So think of PEA in that manner. With PEA, the heart's being told, do this, make it happen, do it now. The heart's not able to, and this is usually due to either some sort of obstruction or a frame of physiology where there's enough nutrients. We use the word nutrients. There's enough nutrients, there's enough available fuel to generate an electrical impulse, but not a muscle contraction. So it's easy to see how tamponade's one of those, right? With tamponade, the heart cannot expand. Therefore, you cannot feel a palpable pulse. Electrical impulses are certainly being sent, but nothing is happening. So when you check a rhythm and you don't have a palpable pulse, you have PEA. And this happens in tamponade. The pericardial sac is full. Nothing is actually moving. And the heart may actually be contracting a very small amount, but it's not palpable. If a pulse is not to the point you can palpate it at the carotid, you don't have a perfusion pressure that can sustain life. So tamponade's one place. Hypovolemia is another one. Hypovolemia, sort of what we talked about a minute ago. Too little fuel to really fuel a muscle contraction, but the nerves themselves are getting what they need to make that nerve impulse show up on the EKG. And it's worth noting, this is a really low impulse. The entirety of the human body runs on less electricity than a 9-volt battery. So just because you have a measurable QRS complex or something on the ECG does not mean there's enough to power a muscle. It takes quite a bit of energy to power a muscle. If you don't believe me, put a patient on your pacer and see how many milliamps it takes to make that heart contract. Another common one is pneumothorax, and this is mechanical. It's the same reason. The heart is being compressed. There's a huge pneumothorax there, shifting the mediastinum. Everything's being smashed down. Poiseuille's law, if the heart can't expand, the heart can't contract. You have electrical impulses with no palpable pulse. And I can't stress this enough. The heart may be contracting a very small amount, but it's enough that you can't feel a pulse and that the movement of blood is not enough to sustain life. And of course, there's other mechanical or cardiogenic origins of this. This isn't by any means an all-inclusive list. It's just something I wanted you guys to know. So a couple of things about shocking PEA. If you get confused, right? If you make a boo-boo, we've all done it, including me, the shade tree cardiologist. Monitors actually have built-in safeties. A monitor's not going to let you shock PEA. If it's an organized rhythm that is not ventricular tachycardia, that is not defibrillation, that is not something you synchronize that's tachycardic and cardiovert, the monitor actually will not deliver that electricity. And I know this for a fact because I tried it. I hooked a rhythm gen up to a mannequin that could take it and tried to send 200 joules through it. I will personally vouch for the Zoll X on this one because that is the monitor with which I tried this. So two big things to take away from this lecture. Don't feel bad if you ask about shocking PEA. If you're new, hey, we were all there. The other big one is your monitor has built-in safety. So even if you're experienced and you're on your high horse and you make a boo-boo, it's all right. We have safety features to kind of catch some of that stuff. So it's certainly not a monitor with training wheels. It's not going to help you with everything, but every now and again, we all make a boneheaded mistake and the monitor will catch some of that. So don't worry about it. All right, guys, thanks for watching.